The Salmon Fly Hatch, it's world class. It looks like a bunch of hummingbirds out flying along the surface of the river. You can take your hand, run it through the canary grass, and have 2 palmfuls when that hatch is peaking. I think this river helped raise me. Before I even fished, it was more just rummaging around the banks, looking at the bugs and the plants, watching my buddy's dad eating stoneflies right in front of me. He's like, it's a great protein source. The trout love them. I was introduced to the Deschutes probably in 3rd grade. My dad would take me steelhead fishing, trout fishing. Our life kind of revolved around the Deschutes. One of my earliest memories was catching my first trout on the river.
The tribes have been here for a long time. We come from this country, so we know this land. The #1 gift the Creator gave us was water. So you always hear 7 generations, but it's even farther out. So we're never going to leave these lands, and we need to take care of them.
The Deschutes River starts in the Cascade Mountains, kind of in the center of Oregon. It gets most of its water from the Metolius River and from the Crooked River. So you have this magnificent miracle of a river in the desert. I had many opportunities to move somewhere else, but I couldn't leave the Deschutes.
That's adult spring Chinook salmon 131 above the dams.
Restoring salmon and steelhead to habitat where they've been gone for 60 years is a complicated process, and it's a long-term vision. This project is really aimed at restoring the entire Deschutes Basin, all the way from the headwaters in the mountains to the Columbia River, and working for fish habitat and water quality throughout that entire stretch. We have some really good early signs that restoration of Chinook and steelhead is working.
It's been the last few years we started seeing adults come back. Still a lot of work needs to happen there, and we need to give it time to be able to see what these fish are going to do. It's not going to happen overnight, and a lot of us realize that.
PGE and the tribes have a habitat fund where we work with partners in local NGOs as well as agencies. It's been about $60 million. It's gone into both the upper and lower Deschutes.
We're thinking about the entire basin and from the headwaters down and what's happening in all those areas, because everything is connected.
We operate a screw trap to collect juvenile fish as they're moving downstream towards the ocean. So we come out here in the morning, we measure, tag any fish that we've collected for the day, and then we release them back on site so they can continue moving downstream. These fish should return to Deschutes Creek, where they'll spawn in nature and produce future generations of steelhead. 10 years ago, it was dry in the City of Sisters, and now we have a creek that runs year-round, and we were a part of that. Yeah. Adaptive management means doing studies, collecting data, and using that data to drive future decisions. There's a couple reasons that studies take a long time. The Deschutes, like all rivers, is subject to climate change, drought years, high flow years, lots of variability in nature. What changes are being caused by those natural factors, and what changes are being caused by intentional operations. And that's a big goal of our water quality studies. The other thing that takes a long time is that science is reviewed by other scientists, independent reviewers, to make sure that it's at a high quality, that it can be repeated.
Got it.
In a month from now, I'm going to have a baby boy. My hope is that when my little boy is 10 years old, that we'll be able to come out here and see salmon and steelhead in the upper basin. That's what I got into this for.
I won't live to be able to see everything I would like to see happen on the river. I won't be able to see all the work, good work. But I know my family and people will appreciate it.